You're welcome, Blue Crow, for the information about the data packs. You can follow the link that I just threw in chat. It's for crafting.thedestruction.ca. Is a good website to go and build a data pack. And that's where I made the one for the petrified oak slabs. Val Blockhead, thanks very much. Welcome in. How'd you find the stream? Just browsing around on Twitch? Cool. Keeps it looking nice and green. We'll sneak another one in over here. Yeah, popped up in the suggestion section. Nice. Yeah, we had a raid from Tadpole Milk earlier, but we I think we peaked at around 50 viewers so far today. It's awesome. Welcome in. Thanks for saying hi. It's funny that you're tuning in for the last part of this build. First time viewers today are like, so what have you been up to? A medieval town for 4 years? We're building the last road. It's like saying, congratulations, you're late. I'm teasing, of course. You're always welcome. And I stream all the time. Like we'll be on to other projects and things later on. Oops. This feels very blocky. Top 3 favorite donuts? I'm not a big donut guy. Sour cream glazed from Tim Hortons is good. I would say anything that's got fillings, like a strawberry, and then I don't know. I guess apple fritter or blueberry fritter. Blueberry fritters are good. Val Blockhead, I've actually been looking for the last 3 or 4 days. Definitely one of my go-to channels now that I've stumbled upon it. The vibes are nice. Oh, thanks very much. That's cool. So you've seen a good portion of the end then. That's fun. So I think before I do this texture on the road, I'm going to run around like a mad fool with a bunch of bone meal. And really try to fill in some of these grass holes that we've created. I'm just going to grab a whole bunch of this. I feel like the way to do this is just going to be to run around and just hit it repeatedly and then go back over. And I don't really have to get rid of the flowers. I might though. I'm probably going to go back and get rid of the too tall grass. I also have to be careful of hitting the moss. It's going to mess up my road. And that was a whole stack of bone meal. Still no big tree. So it creates a lot of really tall grass, but that's not bad. Like, it does give a decent border. I think I do want these to be a little bit on the shorter side, closer to the road though. This feels a little bit too perfect, you know what I mean? Yeah, it feels a little bit more natural that way. Cheese Cat, you just got a Christmas advert on Spotify. No. It's not even back to school yet in Canada. Kids don't go back to school until next week. So this is a pretty decent method to just quickly get a lot of life and then also get a little bit of randomness back in, because I find that sometimes with bone meal it just kind of blankets the entire countryside. But if you just get rid of the tall stuff, it leaves a hole, right? So it doesn't feel quite as dense. And then if you also get rid of the flowers, or maybe even just get rid of, for me, I might get rid of everything but the white flowers. I guess we'll have more flowers to drop off to Cosmic later. Yeah, like leaving that, I think it's good. Wow. Well, we're not hurting for grass anymore. The other thing I never thought to do, we could have gone with some of the white flowers and just replaced the existing flowers with the white ones. That's always a good method too. Now this, I think I ended up putting too much bone meal down and I hit... no, I think it looks okay. Maybe there's a couple spots here. As someone that has a birthday at the end of November, I always I allow Christmas things only after my birthday. Nice. It's a good rule. I think it's a good rule. For me, I think like after Halloween, but in Canada specifically, November 11th is Remembrance Day, and I feel like after the holiday commemorating war veterans is probably a good time to like wait until then and then start with your Christmas ads and your commercialism and everything else, right? Like already that feels pretty good. Much more natural. And here, I think what we might do is have it actually stop here. So have it kind of peter out. It feels like it's pretty good. It does feel a little odd that it stops like right there, but your Halloween build is that you started last year in late September, took me all the way until June this year to finish. Yeah, that's the kind of thing where I might step away and then come back to it the following Halloween. Get a big tree? No, no big tree yet. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do at all. Maybe we can force this tree. A little bone meal. Nope, maybe not. Better than nothing. I was hoping for a really big one. I think that's okay though. So many flowers. Well, I'm not going to be hurting for blue dye, that's for sure. I think that looks pretty good. Maybe I want to have just a little bit more happening up here. I'm going to try to be a little bit farther back and see if we can't keep it a little bit lower, closer to the road. So many dandelions, just like in real life. remember when blue dye was really hard to come by until they added the cornflower. When you're bone mealing the grass to get tall grass, you get flowers. But if you bone meal the grass to get flowers, you get no flowers. Yeah, 100%. Do I have a favorite build in Westhill? You know, I feel like, I don't know about a favorite build, but I certainly have like a favorite area, and that's the western quarter, which is over here. Like I like this area here. I just feel like it's a little bit more organic, and they're fancier builds. I had been building for 2 or 3 years before I started this, well, 2 years probably, in this area, so that I had a better handle on how to do medieval style stuff. And the back pathways are very dense, and you've got like thickets and stuff like that. And then there's like the mansion, and there's just all kinds. It's very moody through here, and I quite like this area. So I don't really have a favorite build, but I like this part of town better than the other part of town. And you'll see as we walk back here, things get a lot flatter. There's not as much greenery. There's not as many trees, and it gets a lot more basic once we cross over the main road and head east, because the east is the first part that I did. I built the main gate, the big main gate there, and which is also a favorite build. That's nice too. But the main gate doesn't necessarily fit everything else. I feel like most of Westhill feels like it fits each other, but then the main gate sort of stands out a bit. But then down this way, it's cool and all, but it's very simple. And in a way, it's meant to be that way too. Like, it's not meant to be as fancy. The western quarter is meant to be more fancy people, richer people. And then this is all like bakeries and blacksmiths and things like that. So, you know, when you walk through, you can kind of feel the vibe change from being fancy to being a little bit more plain. But I think the only regret that I have is the shape of the wall here. This thing around the church is not my favorite. I should have done something else or done something a little bit different. I don't know how I would have done it because the rivers are in the way. Like, but it's a weird. Westhill has this really cool shape, and it's got this weird little bump at the bottom. I guess the thing to do would have been to maybe like extend the whole town, like a big swoop around there. But it felt like so much work. All right, since we're here, I would say that this feels like a road that travels into the distance. So now it's all that's left is just putting the texture on the road. Like even here, you can't see where it ends. So mission achieved. That's what I wanted to do. Worry about that stuff later. So now what I want is a mix of rooted dirt, packed mud. We're going to run out of that stuff, I think. Concrete powder, we're going to run out of that too. There's more concrete powder. Don't think I have packed mud in here. Rooted dirt is out here. I'm gonna go get some. Oh no, I have some acacia. Mangrove. Need my mangrove wood, and I need my mud box. Yeah, mangrove. Yeah, really happy with the way that kind of fades into the distance. Now we just have to add all the textures. This is gonna take a minute. Oh man, that's gonna be a pain. Right, I'm remembering now why I don't do it that way. I'm not trying to knock this out of the park. I just want it to be something that looks like it has some sort of texture purpose to it. I'm going to start with the darks and then gradually go lighter. We're probably going to need more concrete too. Medieval towns grew based on the terrain. You only see a round oval shape if there was no obstructions or defense-related terrain features. Yeah, exactly. So like, Westhill kind of developed naturally. Like I didn't plan the whole thing out. I didn't like knock down or flatten the whole thing and build it from scratch. I often chose like the mansion in the western quarter. It's up on a hill because the hill was already there. Like the cliff was already there. And honestly, I looked at like, after doing a bunch of custom cliffs, I was like, I don't want to do another custom cliff. What could I do instead? I know, I'll build a mansion on top of this and just have the walls of the mansion go down into the cliff so I don't have to do a custom cliff anymore. Problem solved. It's hard to not make a pattern when you do this kind of stuff. SweetSandi, you like the shantytown? Interesting. I don't really spend much time in Lowtown. So SweetSandi is talking about this area here. When you come in from the south road, you go over this little bridge. There's this spot here where there's a small little bit of town that's outside the walls. And the idea was that there'd be very small, very poor houses, not much going on. Little market here on the outside, the gate. And then it has like this little area down here that's all along the water. I thought that was kind of fun. I really like this bridge, actually. Anytime I've done anything on an angle, I've always felt very accomplished. So building a bridge on an angle and having it actually be something that has an arc to it, like, I feel like this is a pretty solid build in Minecraft. That's not easy to do. And so when I think one of my favorite things about Westhill, and this goes back to, you know, what we were talking about with long-term worlds and how to get better at as a builder, like because of the things that I've been doing and the different attempts at bridges that are either simple and solid or more decorative like that other one, like, you just, over time, you just pick up these skills. And now, like, for me to do this road 3 years ago would have taken forever. And now I've got a system. I know what looks good. I mean, it's honed in on medieval stuff. Like, if I was to do a desert town, I'd have to learn all over again what textures I want to use. But for the most part, I think it's working out pretty well. I have to put the pick down here. I should also get some slabs for spruce, because they are one of the better ways to add texture to the petrified oak slabs. SweetSandi, you like it just because it's so different? Well, thanks. Yeah, I think it still feels like it matches, but I do hope it feels at least a little bit different. It definitely belongs, but it's different. Just good different. Thanks, Blue. The main Westhill has the big city feeling, and Shantytown is more like a little village feeling. Yeah, I can see that. I almost want to make a trapdoor there. Find sometimes when you use trapdoors, you can sort of make it look like, you know, the road was kind of sliding or collapsing, and so somebody came along and put down some extra stuff to kind of make it a little bit less of a problem. Whoops. I kind of want to make this a plank now. Oh, maybe not. Let's go with that. Just reverse it. I say this is the part that is the hardest to kind of like talk over, because you're just trying not to repeat patterns too much. I think it might be better to go one section at a time. Sometimes getting a little bit of grass actually onto the coarse dirt helps too. Like, I kind of wonder if I can get away with some bits like this. I don't know. Feels a little bit in the middle, maybe. Maybe if I tucked it in here. I feel like that's okay. think I prefer them on the sides rather than in the middle. Placing buttons can also be treacherous, yeah. Oh yeah, in the nether, yeah. When you're looking down, you're not looking around. I think that looks pretty good. I think that's a good section of it done. I don't know if the acacia is going to look good or not. Maybe not on the side. No, you know what? I think that's okay. I'll just leave that. Feels like it needs a little bit something along the edge here. Yeah. More annoying than they can see and shoot you through lava curtains. Really? Oh yeah, that would drive me nuts. Is this all happening on the patron server? That's where you're working right now? Right on. What's it called again? Honey something? Honeywood? I say honeywood. Sandy told me this the other day. Trying to increase the spawn in our fortress to farm wither skellies. Oh yeah, nice. Something about that feels funny, but I'll worry about that later. I don't know if I like that particular spot. That's probably better. Actually, we could probably replace this and put, oh, no. That probably looks better. And then back here, oh, I don't have them with me. I'll worry about that later. I kind of need to prioritize the texture on the road, and then I can get into fiddling with the other stuff. I wonder if it'll be faster to just run through and hit all the holes randomly. Thank you, SweetSandi. Appreciate it. Yeah, that seems to go a little bit faster. No, other way around. Kind of made a line down the middle, so I'm going to try to move some of that. I think we could probably move this over here. All right. Let's stick to the brakes. Go AFK for a little bit. So if you're new to the channel, I do this once an hour. And do this with every game once an hour. I just step away for a little bit of a stretch. You should too. And we will be back in about 5 or 6 minutes. Sunnybrook1, hello, hello. Is that a... No, that's not a three-eyed crow. I thought it might be in reference to K-pop Demon Hunters. And Honeywood is the name of the community area, but you're not sure about the name of the server. I mean, it doesn't have to be. Like, whatever people are interested in calling the server, I'm cool with it. I don't play on it, so It's all just people in my community that play. That's at patreon.com/JoelDuggan for anybody that's interested. If you want to support the stream, there's the entry level is $2 to get into the Discord, but then after that, the $10 level is to get in on the community server as well. Just cute crow emotes from a streamer. Cool. Cool. This feels pretty good. Not bad for a stream. I think like one and done, you know, like there was nothing here when we started. It was empty. And we had to completely design and texture this all in one go. Because I want to wrap this up today. That looks pretty good. I might want to tuck this in a little bit closer to the side. Yeah. Could maybe use a few more of these lighter rooted dirt pieces. Maybe not there. SweetSandi used 500 bits. Westhill forever. Thanks very much. I really appreciate the support, Sandy. And thank you for the moderation all week long and everything else. I really appreciate it. We are in overtime. A little bit, I knew it was going to be a long stream. Like I'm finishing today, but we are at a little bit past 3 hours. Most of the time this summer, I've been keeping my streams between 2 and 3 hours just for health and balance and time of day stuff. Because if I go longer than 3 hours, it's a very late lunch for me when I start at 10. So I like to break at 1 for lunch usually. But on Saturdays, I've gone longer. And on some Saturdays, I've done like a double header where I've streamed Minecraft for 2 or 3 hours and then stream Satisfactory. Although we've been focusing so much on Westhill that I've just been focusing on Minecraft lately. No, it's not. You're right, Blue. Normally, in the summer especially, 2 to 3 hours is max. I also have a problem where my computer chair right now is extremely uncomfortable. And I'm sitting on a dining room chair right now because it's the best that I can sort. So until I can figure out a better way to get things going with a computer chair, then we are kind of at the mercy of the uncomfortableness. I went to go look at one that was on sale at Canadian Tire last week, but it wasn't great. Really, I think I just need to find like the cheapest thing around. I just get that for now. Moss and rooted dirt look so good next to each other. It really works well together, I think. Actually, let's put that here. And then we'll go with spruce. Feels like it needs a little bit more. But I guess we'll just leave it. I find when you have really dark blocks like that, it's usually good to like put a little bit of grass in front of them because it layers it so it doesn't feel as harsh. Hope I don't have to make too much rooted dirt because it's a kind of a pain. I'm looking forward to sorting out some stuff like that in my sci-fi area, like micro farms for blocks that I need. Ironically, I probably won't need them in a sci-fi zone, but it'll be nice to have that kind of production area. That feels very much like a checkerboard. Let's maybe put that over here. Cheap office chairs can be very hit or miss. Yeah, 100% Wormbo, but I've tried everything. The current chair that I have was $300. That was on sale for $150 at Christmas time. And I find them all too deep. When you get into fancy chairs, they're too deep and they don't have the right hip to knee balance. And then I spent $600 or more on a Secret Labs chair, and then they charged me to return it when I wasn't satisfied. Like, I'll never buy another Secret Labs thing ever. They claimed that it was ergonomic, and it was absolutely not. Like, your knees were higher than your hips, and it put my legs to sleep. It was extraordinarily uncomfortable. It's difficult too because I'm not a huge individual, but I'm over 6 feet tall. I'm well over 200 pounds and in decent shape. So it's like I'm broad shoulders. Like anything that looks like a race car chair, I can't do because my shoulders don't fit in the way that it's structured. It doesn't look like this on the. Not that I'm bragging about being a big dude, but like the camera angle is odd. You might be able to tell a little bit on the Spawn Chunks camera angle, but most of the time it's hard to tell. Yeah, that's the other thing Sandy agreed. Like sometimes you have to go to the store to try things, and I would be okay. Like I could use an extra chair around the studio for just like tasking. So like having a really cheap, no arms, just like the kind of thing like a dentist might sit on, like that kind of a little wheelie chair would be good, I think. I might make some more brown concrete powder while we're here. Do I have gravel to do that with? I think I do. Oh, I needed 2 dye. Even after you had spent time configuring the secret lab share? Yeah, 100%. You could not adjust the angle of it. And I was really not happy with that. Well, the thing was, the chair, the actual, I'm sorry to say, but like, if this is the butt of the chair, like the flat part of your chair, the front part of the chair was high. Like it curved up like that. So it dug into the back of my legs. It's probably fine for smaller people. Like if you're a tiny human, I know I've seen some female streamers that sit cross-legged on a secret labs, which is great if that's comfortable for you. But like I can't do that. I don't fit. Even on the biggest secret lab chair, it just wasn't the thing. Because I got one for my size. Like I went through their whole like sizing charts and weight stuff and everything else. So let's put that here. Oops. Yeah, and then maybe we'll put a little trapdoor over here just to be different. Fortunately, you're going to probably have to try out a lot of chairs, and there are definitely chairs that would fit your body. Oh, totally, yeah. But unfortunately, they're probably custom and so expensive. Or just like, there's lots of chairs that are out there that I hear fantastic things about. Like for a long time, working as an illustrator, several of my illustrator friends, I think they're Harman Kardon chairs or something like that. It's like they're $1,200, which I get. Like, if you're gonna be in it, drawing comics like 12 hours a day, or maybe not 12, but like a lot, I can see, investing the time. But if you're, that's also just, there's a limit to what I feel I will spend on something like that, and $1,200 is well above what I think a chair is worth. Like, that's just a lot. Actually, maybe we'll do it down here. sometimes it comes down to where the grass goes, right? Maybe we'll just put the grass there. Whoops. I don't want that to be more visible. Think the texture is done? I don't have a lot of these darker pieces done this way. Herman Miller, thank you, Dan Grice, thank you, yeah. Herman Miller, Aaron, yeah. I haven't tried one from IKEA yet. They're not bad in terms of the. I'm so what's the word I'm looking for? Just mentally exhausted from the whole thing that I'm probably just gonna go and get like the cheapest thing I can get for now, and then just to kind of like improve it in general, and then I will go and spend more time and money on something. I've been thinking about trying a standing desk, but the problem is I'm spoiled. I'm not sure if you can see it. Well, sort of. It's a desk behind me, air quotes. It's a 6-foot board table from Staples in Canada, and I've got 2 of them, one on this side and one on that behind me, and they're awesome because they're 6 feet long, and I mean, God, they've got to be 3 feet deep. So it's a huge amount of space. Your desk does not feel cluttered at all, and I really like it. But they're not meant to have all this computer gear on them, so they sag a little bit. So I need to invest in. I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to get IKEA legs and just attach the legs to these, and just put like 6 legs on them. Because I generally sit in the same spot in the middle every time. But these are like folding tables, so like they don't have the support in the middle. All right, let's just walk this and see if there's anything that stands out. Well, first, let's go over this way. And from the player perspective, minus obviously the construction stuff, you can see a little bit of the road. But you're really not going to notice anything until you're out here. And what's nice about this is that it does feel like it goes into the distance. If you come out this way, I think you immediately kind of realize, oh yeah, okay. Just kind of swerves out this way. I'm not seeing anything that feels out of place. Maybe use a little bit of a lighter block here. This is why I like to walk it. You pick up on a lot more if you just kind of bop around. Not the best time of day with the sunlight. Hold on. While I'm here, I'll just refill on some things. That's another data pack that's really handy is crafting rooted dirt. Because you can make more roots. So rather than growing azalea trees, we just craft more. So I had a problem with standing desks when I was working as an illustrator. I could not stand and draw. I did not like it. I really felt more comfortable and more fluid sitting down. The space behind me used to be where I used to draw. My drafting table when I used to draw on paper is actually now the Lego table. I just flattened that down. That could be a different table too. Yeah, I know what you mean, Blue Crow, about the brand for Herman Miller. I've seen some other stuff that's, again, it's in that $500 to $600 Canadian range, and I can't remember the name of them, but they looked like Herman Miller. They're a little bit lighter. They come in like white and green and stuff like that. And again, it's one of those things where like to go through the motions of spending like $500 on a chair just to probably return it, especially when it's in the mail, like it's just such a pain in the butt. Feels pretty good to me. Oops. I don't exactly know what to put on the side there. Maybe a little bit of grass? Yeah. All right, so coming in from this end, just to kind of get the experience. So you can sort of see Westhill in the distance, and then as the road curves, you kind of like turn to face the town as it kind of, you see a little bit of a reveal of the keep in the distance. And as you get closer, you get to see a little bit more of everything. That giant tree is kind of in the way, isn't it? So it's not until you get to the bridge that you can actually really see the full skyline. And even then you're kind of not low, but there's enough here in the front that you're not going to see much of the keep. I think once you get in the main eastern gate here, you can see more of the keep. Yeah, I feel like this little road here on the other side frames the keep quite well. Yeah. And then going the other way. Yeah, I feel like the grass feels filled in. There's a couple of little flowers here and there. Use a little bit more grass over here. Ah, yes. Definitely disappears around the corner. I might actually swap these for bushes. I think little details like this sometimes help with making things feel more overgrown. Looking for any spots that feel really empty. Looks like we might have to do some bone meal stuff in here. I might have missed a flower. I've got a new one. Put 2 of those down somewhere. So this sort of feels a little bit empty. Some of this maybe could get a little bit of a touch. And there was another cave entrance over here somewhere. That I saw a couple of weird missing blocks. I'll just add these in. Sure. So I guess the only thing left to do is just walk around and see if there's anything else. I was gonna try to put some streetlights in, but I don't think it's necessary. We'll wait for one more night cycle. All right. I'm gonna walk this one more time, just in case there's anything that I see. Cosmic Dancer with 500 bits. Ladies and gentlemen, all those in between, stick a fork in him, Westhill done. Probably, maybe, potentially. Yes. I'm sure at some point in the future we'll come back to the area, but yes. It's weird. It's a weird feeling to be finished a project you've been working on for 4+ years. We've taken breaks, too. You think it needs more flowers, SweetSandi? I'm shocked. So obviously when you get down this end, it feels kind of flat. So this is because there's been some work out here. So I'm just going to run around and hit a couple of these. This has all been, I think, filled in by Cosmic. Used to be a ravine. And I don't think we really need to worry about the flowers at this point. We can just leave them. Yeah, that feels a little bit better. Walk this going back into town again. Thanks again, Cosmic, for the 500 bits. Really appreciate it. Colorful metals, that's a new one around here. I mean, I've got some flowers. There's a lot of flowers over here. Also, like, there's a whole bee farm full of flowers. The Cosmic and the Sandy have been fed. Granted, it hasn't been this month, but they've been fed. Yeah, I think that feels pretty good. I think that feels pretty curated. So I think we will pack up the stuff. And I'll probably hit this with a little bit of bone meal just because it's going to be a really big, weird, empty spot. These can go in there. Grab a little bit of that and shears. And it's a pretty effective way to just kind of like randomly get some grass around your area and have it not be a complete blanket. You know, just removing that tall grass, I find really does help keep things be random looking. And you'd never know we were here. Cool. So that is the final road in Westhill. Is there a plan when you're going to tour the stream? Hopefully this week coming. I've got to talk to Pixelriffs and find out when he wants to do it. It'll probably be around his normal stream time. I will post it in the Discord. I will post it on the SpongeChunks Discord. I will post it all over the place. Hype Train, says the Wormbo. That is 10 tier 1 subs from Wormbo going out to the community. Wormbo, thank you so much. That's super, super generous. That kicked off a Hype Train, puts us 76% of the way through level 3. The subs went to Gooby Goo. That's a interesting username. The Black Clad Wanderer, Taro MC2, Yijar, Poa 42, Enor Single 82, Roasta 98, Kel Birdie, Emerald Moon Moth, that's a fun username, and Cheese Cat. Some of those regulars in chat now have access to the Discord. You can connect your Discord and your Twitch accounts, and then look for the Joel Duggan Discord in your Discord Connections tab under your options. You should be able to join the Discord. Sometimes it takes about 20 minutes for the connection to be made, but you can now join the Discord, so we'll see you there. Now I don't have a free space. Let's just pitch these somewhere. I just want an empty hand. SweetSandi gifting a tier 1 sub to Robomas. Thanks very much, SweetSandi. That's very, very kind of you. That pushes us into the start of a level 4 hype train with 4 minutes and 30 seconds left to go. I was saying this before. I think I would like to have a slower walking speed for Minecraft. I think that would be fun. But yeah, I think that is a successful road construction and texture all in one go. Very seldom do these things end up happening in one stream. That's great. I'm just going to keep on walking the East Road and then we'll loop around. So if you're new, you're going to get a good look through. Obviously, we'll do a proper tour when Pixelriffs is available, because that will involve like going into houses and walking around and stopping and talking, and he'll have questions and things like that. I think that's a difficult thing for me to do if I was to try to do a tour on my own, is that I want to try and talk about this stuff, but I've already talked about it so much. Like it's nice when you have somebody else that will kind of chime in and like ask you some questions about the build. And he's been seeing it come together over the last few years on the Citadel, or on the Bond Chunks. Something between a sneak and a walk. Yeah, like a sneak is really slow. And this, I'm not sprinting, but it's definitely moving pretty fast. Like an RP walk, I think is what they call them in a lot of games. So this is the other road that we finished. This can connect down here. There's so many paths that connect in this area. I think it's really fun that there's like 4 or 5 different ways to walk around. And I'm waiting for the night to fall because I'm just curious as to where we might want street lamps, but I don't really have any more time. The roads are always going to be dark. That's always going to be the case. Be fun to kind of approach Westhill at night. We don't normally we sleep through the night. This is the other road that leads out of town. This actually goes out to the teleportation area. Nice. So the firefly bushes will start to show up at night, which is cool. I feel like we might want to put a street lamp in front of the wheat farm. There's a dock lamp and there's a lamp in front of the potato farm, but there's nothing here. I feel like we could very easily find a spot for one here. Like probably right on top of that fence post. Or maybe this one. Yeah, something like that. I think right there. This feels a little bit dark. And then you've got the other light from, so there's a light in front of this house, and then the next light is in front of the next house, and I think that's a good pattern. That is a successful hype train. Thanks very much, folks. Make sure that you check out the emote that you got if you were able to participate in the hype train. I will share the one that I got right now. A little panda. Like. All right, let's go ditch this inventory so I can actually get out of here. Oh, skeleton. And I'll pop up in the air and show people the full build before I end the stream too. I'm gonna need that. I need most of the stuff. Let's just go with what I don't need. Put that away. Don't need mud. Dirt. So that's a little bit easier. We've got, we need a lantern. I need some trapdoors. Maybe a slab. Maybe a fence gate. Definitely some fence posts. And then potentially andesite and or bricks. Signs are all going to be in there. Should be everything. Emerald Moonmoth, thanks for coming out of the lurk. You've got a sub. You can now join the Discord. Make sure you connect your Discord and your Twitch. Sunnybrook1, subscribe to tier 1. 8 months, Sunnybrook. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Which do we want to do? Do we want to do... That one's pretty close to the road, I think. So it's 2 walls. I'm not going to do 2 walls. I think I'm just going to do 1 wall. I think we'll do it on this one. So I'll flip this. That. Then maybe a mossy cobble wall. I'll switch this out to be, or no, maybe we'll do mossy cobble down there. And I'll swap that for a mossy brick. Yeah. Oh, which way does this want to go? Do we want to... Yeah, I guess we'll put it out over the road. Might be the best way to do it. Oh, I had one. Where? It was only 2. Yeah. Keep it simple. When it works, it works. Yeah, that cuts into the skyline nicely too, in terms of like, if this was a drawing, like it gives you a nice foreground element here that kind of pushes the background farther back. Good call. I don't think there's any more of these I need to put down. Was there a lantern over here, maybe? Oh, there was a light outside of this one. Just a sign. feel like a lantern might be overkill. I know I tried to make that bigger and I didn't like it. Maybe it needs a lantern in front of the house. Kind of like that double panel though. Yeah, okay. Nice. I would say that that's a good spot. Oh, geez. Glad I saw that. Take it easy, Blue. Thanks ever so much for being here. Appreciate it. Have a good one. The Wormbo, thanks. Appreciate it. I've definitely lost boxes on stream before. Yeah, wow, that's cool. It's really cool to walk around in this area now. So much fun. It feels like a video game that you've created, you know, like it doesn't feel like a Minecraft world. It feels like it's something else. Like if you downloaded a map from, you know, the marketplace or something. Losing a shulker because you forgot to pick it up as a bitter pill. Yeah, I lost a utility shulker one time and it had like all kinds of really good stuff in it, like hoppers and chests and like all the kind of stuff that you need when you're setting things up, you know? Let's just ditch this inventory so I don't go crazy. Am I missing something? Where did I put all my dirt shulker boxes? Oh, I put them in the wrong chest. Okay, I'll just leave them there. So we still have to like pack up and leave this area, but we have at least sorted out the last of the building, which is great. I need that. Nice. I'm just going to wait for the night so we can sleep. Actually, while it's nighttime, I should go back and see what that new lantern feels like. Already, I think it's going to look good. There's always something. There's always like one more last little thing, right? I think I said this before last stream, but bumping up the render distance was one of the best decisions I ever made. It really helps it feel more like a solid build. I'm just waiting for the sun to go down so we can go and walk through. You can see it from here actually, which is nice. So now, yeah, I feel like it's like a little leapfrog. Like you see the one light and then you see the next light and you kind of know where you want to go. Yeah, with the candles down there, I don't think we need a light in front of that place. At least not now. Yeah. That works great. Excellent. And then once we get up to the top of the hill here, oh, well, I'm not going to be walking that way. Don't feel like having a creeper explosion in the last minutes. Thanks very much. It is the tricky thing about being realistic about the lighting is that, of course, mobs spawn everywhere. So then you've got a light in front of this little homestead, and then the kind of like city lights start to creep up. There's a homestead light here, but then we've got different lanterns all around, and of course, mobs everywhere. They don't light things up perfectly, but works out quite well. Nice. I'm gonna pop into a bed. And I have to say, once we wake up here, this is one of my favorite views on like in this area is this. Like the canal here first thing in the morning. Such a cool vibe. Really, really like this. Is it raining? Is it really going to start raining as I'm trying to wrap this up? I'm going to pull server admin. It's like the 5th time it's rained today. Well, folks, that's Westhill finished. That's everything. So we've got all the roads, all the landscaping, as far as the eye can see. I really like what we did with this over this week. The whole valley, which you're basically seeing the perimeter of from up here, is all done. Only took 4.5 years, you know? Only took a little while. But quite happy with how dense it looks on the western quarter. We've got the keep and all the details. There's all kinds of fun stuff to explore. So, like I said, we're going to be going over this with Pixel Riffs. We've also got the town that Sandy likes, the little shanty town down there. And all the landscaping that's done. Nice to finally have everything completely sorted and no longer have any building to do in the area. This is the medieval zone, so there could be other builds coming in the future. There could be other players that want to come in here and build on the server. But for now, this is it. The Chels UK, I've been watching your streams for a while now, lurking mostly, but wanted to say how chill they are and quite meditative, and this whole thing looks amazing. Well, thanks very much. Thanks very much, Chels. That's really nice. Stenos, hello. Thanks very much. Appreciate the nice words. Place looks fantastic. Cheers. Thank you. SweetSandi, you're going to miss it. Well, you never know. There's going to be some cool stuff coming. We're going to bop around the server, do some smaller projects, I think. Yeah. Amazing when you look back at those first walls. Yeah, like I remember when there was nothing here but just this. Like just this build, which exists in Lego, by the way. It's right over there. Grandpa Crafter sent that in. But yeah, you can see like early on it was just the wall and an idea, and then it kind of expanded, and as I said, like, you know, ended up with the church, and like there's secret passages. There's a, I don't know if I can see from here, there's a secret passage right there, and it pops you up inside the inn, which is this building over here. Like it's so fun. There's so many of those things around. There's another secret passage that goes underneath the road here. And there's one down here that comes out behind. Yeah, that alleyway there. Yep. Crazy stuff. If I go up a little bit higher, I give people a circle around the whole thing and kind of get an idea for how much landscaping has happened. Like you can really kind of see what's been kind of touched by me versus what's vanilla Minecraft. The idea is that it kind of stretches for as far as the eye can see. Thanks, Lo. Appreciate it. But there's just a little bit of something just about everywhere. And I think that this is a good, lesson for people that are looking for, a project or looking for motivation in Minecraft. If you start something big, but only just pick at it, like just break it down into component parts and just like build one house at a time or one project or one farm at a time. We've got all these farms out here, the waterfall, like this kind of stuff is just super, super cool. I should have done this without the HUD up. The swamp is a really fun build. Like there's a lot that's going to be fun to go over with pixel riffs in the tour. But this has been super, super fun. Zenthane, thanks very much. Appreciate it. And for scale, there's me. Right on top of the tower. This is wild. I think it's like 22 chunks wide from east to west. That way. She's big. Big, big, big. Right on. Let's just see who I can pass you along to playing Minecraft. This will not be our last time in Westhill. Like I said, we're going to do a tour. And that's going to be with Pixel Riffs. And maybe somebody else. I have to schedule that, so I'm not announcing who that's going to be. We've got Cub Fan and Impulse is doing Skyblock, and Short Zelda is doing New Horizons and a Long-Term World. Short Zelda is a fun streamer. Let's send you on to Short Zelda. I'm sure you will enjoy your time there. Thanks ever so much for hanging out this afternoon. A bit of a longer stream for me. I'm probably going to split this VOD into 2 parts. So it's going to be like 2 hours a piece on Joe Duggan VODs on YouTube. The entirety of this project, everything from the first grass block being broken, is available on YouTube. You can check it out in the various playlists. They're organized by year, and then the stream titles are basically by project. So, Potato Farm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that kind of thing. And it goes back all the way to almost 5 years ago. I'm still going to be obviously continuing on the Citadel. We're going to be working on probably some server farms and other things around. I have an idea for a sci-fi area, but I don't want to jump into that just yet because that's probably going to be another long-term project. So I want to kind of bop around and do some smaller things. We've got to fight the dragon and open up the end and get some shulker boxes and things like that. So you can look forward to that on stream in the future. I do want to pepper in some other games as well, so you'll be seeing more of that. We'll be returning to Satisfactory probably next week and messing around and getting caught up with that. You can follow me on social media, Joel Duggan, very easy to find. You can follow the Spawn Chunks at thespawnchunks.com or on your favorite podcasting app. Pixelrest, my co-host on that show, has graciously agreed to do a tour of Westhill with me. So he's been hearing about it for years on the show. He's going to come and do the tour. And so that VOD will be up on YouTube as well. So it won't be the last time we're in Westhill. I'm sure there'll be lots of opportunities. I have to come back and get stuff too. Like as I move around the server, right now this is still my home base. So I'm going to be back and forth to get certain things, shulker boxes, that kind of stuff. Do check out my other podcast, The Citadel Cafe. There's a new episode in the editing hopper right now that's going to be out hopefully tonight or tomorrow, and that is all about Fantastic Four and K-pop Demon Hunters. Stephen and I have seen both of those, and we reviewed them on the podcast. Also, special bonus for anybody that's a patron on that episode. You'll hear about the next LEGO Let's Chat that should be starting next Friday. That depends on when the LEGO gets here, but it has been ordered, and it should be starting on Friday, September 5th, I want to say. So you can look forward to that. And I will see you all on the next stream, which is scheduled to be Tuesday at 10 a.m. And that's 4 hours ahead of UTC. So thanks ever so much, folks. Sandy, thanks for the moderation. Thank you for the tips, and thank you for the subs, the sub bombs. Remember, if you are a new sub, thanks to a gift sub, connect your Discord and your Twitch accounts. Join us in the Joel Duggan Discord. If you're not a Twitch person, you can always check out patreon.com/JoelDuggan to join the Discord that way, or you can check out the patron server, which is at a slightly higher level. So that's all at patreon.com/JoelDuggan. I will see you folks next time. Thanks. Bye for now.